A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. A youth, when at home, should be filial and, abroad, respectful to his elders. He should be earnest and truthful. He should overflow in love to all and cultivate the friendship of the good. When he has time and opportunity, after the performance of these things, he should employ them in polite studies. An oppressive government is more to be feared than a tiger. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Death and life have their determined appointments. Riches and honors depend upon heaven. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. Heaven means to be one with God. Humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. I hear, I know, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. I want you to be everything that's you, deep at the center of your being. If I am walking with 2 other men, each of them will serve as my teacher. I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. If we don't know life, how can we know death? If you look into your own heart and you find nothing wrong there, what is there to worry about? What is there to fear? If you think in terms of a year, plant a seed. If in terms of 10 years, plant trees. If in terms of 100 years, teach the people. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. It is easy to hate, and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Never contract friendship with a man that is not better than thyself. Never give a sword to a man who can't dance. Old age, believe me, is a good and pleasant thing. It is true you are gently shouldered off the stage, but then you are given such a comfortable front stall as spectator. Only the wisest and stupidest of men never change. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Study the past if you would divine the future. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. The cautious seldom err. The expectations of life depend upon diligence. The mechanic that would perfect his work must first sharpen his tools. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. The object of the superior man is truth. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. They must often change. Who would be constant in happiness or wisdom? To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. To go beyond is as wrong as to fall short. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. To practice 5 things under all circumstances constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. To see the right and not to do it is cowardice. To see what is right and not to do it is want of courage or of principle. Virtuous people often revenge themselves for the constraints to which they submit by the boredom which they inspire. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. When anger rises, think of the consequences. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it. This is knowledge. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the three universally recognized moral qualities of men. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? You cannot open a book without learning something.